Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Dumont's Bravanzo Vestige. All right, so Vestige is from the house of Bravanzo, which is a sub-brand of Dumont Paris, I believe. It's an extrait de parfum or an eau de parfum concentration. I'll let you know where the confusion lies in that in just a moment here. And you can pick this bad boy up for $55 at places like Perfume Box. Link will be down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also have a coupon code. Save yourself 5% off your purchase at Perfume Box using the coupon code POST5 if you decide you want to shop with them. Presentation on this, typical cardboard box is what you're going to get at the beginning here, and it does say extrait de parfum on this one, but typical cardboard box, nothing too fancy there. But inside that cardboard box we do have this really nice thick cardboard with this almost kind of like faux leather sort of wrap that goes around it, really quite nice. Also says extrait de parfum on the front there with kind of a little engraved emblem right on the front there with the name of the fragrance house right there. So really nice box presentation, and it does open up like so to reveal our fragrance bottle sitting on the inside here. So box presentation on this are really well done. They did, go that extra mile to make sure that your box presentation is looking nice. And the bottle presentation is also quite nice. Nice thick heavy glass, but as you will see right here, it says eau de parfum. So I'm not too sure what's going on here. Is it an eau de parfum, an extrait de parfum? Who knows? I one of those two for sure. Very heavy bottle on this, and the cap on this is a nice thick heavy metal with this kind of fleur-de-lis kind of looking thing. It's not quite the fleur-de-lis, but that kind of a shape going on to it. And the atomizer on this sucker is quite nice. Sprays halfway across the room, good distribution, will definitely get the job done overall. So for $55, box presentation on this, really nice. So if you were wondering what Bravanzo's Vestige smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. Some of the notes listed in this are citrus, bergamot, lemon sorbet, green notes, fleur de sel, ginger, ambergris, and vetiver. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In the opening, you get blasted with those really nice citruses, a nice combination of some tart bergamot, some overall kind of citrus medleys with that lemon sorbet, kind of adding a nice kind of like sweet lemony touch to it. Just an overall really nice citrus style of profile that's very reminiscent of like the Bulgari Tiger style of clones. Not quite the same, but it's definitely got that kind of hint to it, and you'll definitely recognize that scent profile. As this opens up a little bit more, you do get this nice fresh spicy ginger that comes through that's really quite powerful. A really nice, strong, fresh spicy ginger that pops and just really elevates those citrus notes. And so you got a nice mix of some sweet citrus, some tart citrus, as well as that fresh spicy ginger that comes through. Just an excellent summery style of profile with a nice liveliness to it, and that fresh spice, just chef kiss style of opening to this one. As it opens up a little bit more though, you do get those green touches that come through. So you get a little bit of kind of some earthiness that comes through. A nice grassy style of vetiver comes in from the base. So it just kind of adds a little bit more of an earthy tone to those citruses, kind of plays off against that sweet profile, that little kiss from that lemon sorbet that comes through, and just kind of pulls that down into a nice balanced off fragrance. And then quickly after that, you get a really strong ambery scent that comes through. So a nice kind of woody profile that comes from that amber, mixes in with that vetiver really nice for those citruses that sit on top. Kind of tones down the sweetness a little bit, so it's not as sweet as your Tarathi Blues, your Rubroca Theorems, those style of fragrances. Still in that neighborhood, has a little kind of a hint of the lemon scent style from the Louis Vuitton with those green touches that come in. So it's a nice kind of like a sophisticated take on that Bulgari Tiger style of DNA. So like I said, not as sweet as those other clones. It just has that really nice citrus that comes through with that green earthy touch, the nice grassy vetiver, and a really strong amber that comes through mixing with that fresh spicy ginger. So really nice summery spring style of profile to it. A little bit more green than those other ones. And overall, if you're into that kind of scent DNA, you're definitely gonna like this one. So when it comes to the performance of Bravanzo's Vestige, I get decent performance off this, especially for a kind of a summery style of fragrance. Longevity wise, I get about 6 hours worth of longevity off my skin. I can push that out a little bit further when I get some on my clothing. And in terms of projection, I get decent projection for the first hour and a half or so before it does settle back in. So overall, like I said, for kind of a citrus heavy style of fragrance, I do get decent performance off this. Not a beast mode fragrance. There's other fragrances out there, obviously, that just blast off and are a little bit more nuclear and are citrus based. But this one is kind of an average to maybe slightly above average performer, but definitely not a beast mode performer. But overall, for a summery style of fragrance with that kind of scent profile, performance, pretty decent. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Bravanzo's Vestige would be most appropriate. Definitely think this is a spring summer style of fragrance. Obviously the citrus lends itself to those summer days, those summer evenings with that kind of bright, fresh liveliness that happens, just a very kind of fresh, clean sort of feel. But because of those kind of green touches that are in there, that amberiness that comes through, the woodiness, that grassy vetiver that's mixed in there as well, it does lend itself to the spring with that kind of green touch, a little bit more down to earth and that fresh spice that comes through. I think this would just hit just as well in the spring as it would in the summer. But like I said, high heat, you can definitely wear this one. It doesn't have an overly sweet touch to it, like perhaps like the Tarothy Blue and the Rubroca Theorem style of clones that you might be familiar with that do have a little bit more sweetness than this one. This one's a little bit more mature, a little bit more sophisticated, and it won't kind of get too cloying in the high heat. So definitely think this is a spring summer wear. Don't think this would push through the cold in the winter, so might not be your best choice in the winter time. And you could get away with this in the fall, but the vibes are just spring and summer. In terms of occasions, a great casual wear style of fragrance, but like I said, it has a bit more of a maturity to it than those other style of fragrances. Not as playful, not as flirty as those other ones, because of that kind of green touch that comes through, and that fresh spicy ginger just adds a little bit more kind of a gentlemanly, masculine, kind of more serious approach to this, even though it's kind of a casual fragrance. But great for the office, great for running errands, going out for lunch with friends. You could even wear this to the gym if you so choose, and I think you're gonna be just fine. I think you could dress this one up, kind of a summer evening vibe is what I'm thinking when it comes to kind of formal occasions, but through and through a great casual wear style of fragrance. And like I said, spring summer is where this one's gonna hit. So my overall thoughts on Bravanzo's Vestige. I think this is a really nice fragrance. It is very similar to the Bulgari Tiger style of DNA. Has a little bit of that Louis Vuitton lemon scents sort of vibe going on to it as well, but it's just kind of a nice twist on that DNA, but it's definitely in that genre. If you have like the Rubroca Theorems or the Tarothy Blues, the Alkayam Silver from Lattafa, you're gonna recognize the DNA on this. But like I said, I think this just has a little bit more maturity to it, a little bit more of a sophisticated gentleman sort of vibe going on to it, because it's not quite as sweet. A lot more amberiness that comes through, that fresh spicy ginger really pops out, and it just plays with those citruses really nice. But it will be a familiar DNA, but it could be just kind of a nice alternative from that kind of sweeter version of the Bulgari Tiger that some of you might be used to. But overall, I really enjoy the scent profile on this. I think it's absolutely fantastic for the spring and summer. And when the performance, I'm not like overly thrilled, but I'm not disappointed. You're kind of getting what you would expect from a summer style of fragrance, and I do think it's about average to above average for that style of scent DNA with that kind of citrusy profile. So overall, not disappointed with the performance, and I just think this is a really well put together. The qualities here, it has a really nice kind of smoothness that works in with that citrus, even though it has that kind of ambery, fresh spiciness to it. I think the quality on this is really nice, and for $55, me personally, I am happy that I have this in my collection, and might be something you want to check out. That's Bravanzo's Vestige. And I want to hear from you guys. What are some of the other Bravanzo fragrances that I need to be checking out, that I need to be doing a full review on? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, your different taste and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see y'all next time.